So, a friend of mine had asked me about the top range of pull-ups, and in a way, specifically about the involvement of biceps in the top range. Uh, I've made this stuff just to explain a few things. Um, it's just my opinion, based on the anatomy that I have come to learn. Um, Involvement of biceps on top. I would, as a short answer, I would say that don't uh, think of dominating the top range of pull-ups using the biceps. And I feel it's like a bad idea to do so uh, when it comes to gathering altitude on your pull-ups, going higher and higher on pull-ups. I would even go as far as saying that try to focus on the longer of the triceps and the triceps if you want to go super high, and that's pretty. I think it'll be obvious. I would like, if you want, I can make another video explaining why the triceps. But this is about saying you can use the bicep, but uh, use it in a way that it assists the action of other muscles like the radials and the longer of triceps, the lats, of course, and upper back muscles like the scapular muscles and what connects the scapula to the spine, those upper things like the traps and stuff, the retraction and all that. Like, um, there are different kinds of top outs which you can do, like you can arch your back and try to top out, or you can hollow up your core and try to cup upwards, like that kind of a top out. But all of it comes down to one thing: biceps are needed for um, assisting the upper range, and when you go to the top you can use you can signal the biceps so that you can stay on top so that it can make you be there. um, and more than the biceps, the two brachioradialis and the brachialis, they can help you to close the angle between your forearm and the upper arm. Biceps are slightly more complicated because if you see, they kind of hold the upper arm, I mean the forearm, um, and they insert somewhere in here at the forearm and somewhere there at 2 points near the shoulder. And what that does is it gives a tug to the forearm in a way that this the tugging vector is not going exactly through the axis, I mean through this point of the shoulder. It goes slightly away, and what that does is it kind of gives an anti-clockwise moment about the shoulder. So what that does is that it brings the elbow in front, but in the top range of pull-up you need to get the elbow back. So if you're trying to dominate the top range of pull-up using the bicep, you only get the elbow forward, and at least in that case the other muscles like the retractors and other things, that faces a lot more opposing force, and that just makes the entire thing more complicated. um, sure, you can in a way try to morph the core and other parts of your body, not morph but change the way they're oriented so that you can somehow use the biceps to go in and stuff. But when you're getting used to some intensity of pull-ups and the top range is becoming hard, don't try to dominate using the biceps. Try to drive the elbow back using the other muscles and use the biceps in a way that they are assisting. Don't um, give the dominant signals from your mind to the bicep. And even before that, try to warm up with something easy, um, and try to get to feel the elbow being driven back, and get a feel of what makes the elbow go back, and that kind of might help you help your physical intellect to uh, drive your movement. And another thing I would like to point out, that in case the bicep, instead of like that, in case the this would be the bone or something, and that stuff, and you have uh, the forearm, in case the biceps were to like insert onto your I know this, it should be somewhere there, I think, the forearm, and instead of from top, if it were to go from behind somewhere and hit the shoulder, right, then what that would do is it would kind of give you this kind of a force, which would um, kind of give you this kind of a moment, the clockwise moment, which would help you drive the elbow back. Like this is, it doesn't exist, like not in real life, right? Or do you think it exists in another way? Yes, it does. How? The long head of the triceps kind of hits the scapula somewhere there, and it attaches to this point of your forearm. That can give you this clockwise moment. So if you also try to imagine this kind of movement, you'll start to get it. Mm, the temptation regarding using the bicep would be to close in this angle, um, but yeah, the biceps, unlike these two, the brachioradialis and brachialis, will not just will not just close this angle, but will also try to bring this up, I mean close that kind of an angle like this. So that, for this moment, is detrimental. I hope it's understood. Hmm. If you have any more questions, you can ask in the comments down below, and in case you find something interesting, that may not be right, or stuff which I might have missed or said something wrong, you can point it out also in comments. uh, I don't know, it feels nice drawing and explaining this thing, kind of makes me realize a few things here and there. So thanks for the question, dear friend. All the best.